Good morning.
Thank you. Chris, I want to do a little review on the month, so I'm going to try to commit to doing that every single month to give you what we did versus what we expected to do, and the areas that we did not hit, what we could do potentially better to get there. So, to give you a little recap, so sales department first, we had a goal of 89 units. So how we get these goals is we take the budget that we did in the beginning of the year, that we reviewed at the meeting, and we use a seasonal trend. And what that means is just takes the last 3 years of the average of the percent of business that happened in each month. So when we take that, let's just say I'm gonna use a random number, at 7.2% of our business for the sales department happened in January. That's how we get that number. So the total of amount of sales units for the year, so 1,102 units times that percent gets you how much we're supposed to do this month, or this past month. So that was 89 units. We had 87 units delivered. So we were right there. So what that means for this month is if our goal was 85, we need to do 87 this month to keep on track for our budget. So great job there pushing it, but we could do just a little bit better, take that extra deal, do a little bit better with the guy that we dropped the ball on, right? Just one more opportunity each time. Sales AI, so the amount of money we made on those machines to pay the bills. We had a goal or a budget of 116, 129. We did a total of 126,041. So we hit our budget. So we got to keep up that same work going every single deal for every single dollar. So if we can continue that, we'll hit our budget with the amount of AI to pay the bills that we said we were going to do for the sales department. Finance had a budget of 92,696, did 112,994. So we exceeded budget there. Parts department. So this is excluding e-com. So everybody knows when I'm saying all these numbers, e-com is not associated with this. It's not associated with the budget. So we had a sales budget of 315,735. We did 319,279. So we hit that budget. So great job with the packages, UTVs, people coming in for gear, looking and giving them the extra things. I still think there's opportunity when we look at our metrics that we can still do better and exceed that goal. So we have the traffic, so how do we maximize on that? Well, great job there. AI, goal of 103, 180, did 101, 836. So again, slightly lower. It could have been that add-on sale to the guy that came in for a helmet that should have bought goggles, right? An extra pair of bibs when he bought a jacket, whatever that is. Service department had a goal of 173, 723. Did 189, 879. So again, we've got a good pipeline going. Derek looked at me square in the eyes when I said you got 30 bridges to build in about 2 weeks. He probably crapped himself. So we have a pipeline of going. We need to keep this momentum up. So Matt saw a bunch of snowmobilers out on the trails this weekend. I saw people, UTVs and snowmobiles on the ice on Sunday. So people are using their things. We just got to capitalize when they come in. For the technicians, I'm using proficiency because that's the overall how well the department is doing with technicians. So the goal is 85% for the year. We're at 89%. So great job. We're doing the right things. Let's continue to make sure that everybody's doing their part, right? Jake and Kiffel are making sure machines are staged. Service writers are asking the right questions and giving the right information to the technicians. Technicians were on the ball, getting things done in timely fashion. And then we're getting back to these customers right away, asking for all the upsells and get these machines out of here. So overall, AI for the store, had a goal of 485, 726. We did 540, 615. So again, that's just the money to pay the bills. We still got to pay the bills after that's done. So great job. Last month, you can call a clap for that. So New month starts off. Everyone's gonna kind of go through their departments to show what we're gonna do for February, but great job. We started, month number 1 is good. Let's continue it for the rest of them. Personal news. Anybody?
Yeah, I got to the family this weekend. We now have a 12-week-old lab mix named Harrison. So just added the family on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, it's so common to my house. I needed to know.
Anybody else?
All right, customer review of the week. Troy, biggest, Mr. Bluegill. We'll go by that.
Yeah.
I recently purchased a Kawasaki Ridge from TWL, and I can't say enough good things about the experience. Luke, Dylan, Dave, Tom, and the entire team were absolutely outstanding from start to finish. From sales to service, communication was excellent every step of the way. They took care of all the little quirks that came up with a new purchase and professionally, keeping downtime to an absolute minimum, which is huge when you're running a business. The Kawasaki Ridge has been a great addition to my operation, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend both this machine and TWL to anyone in the market. First class service, knowledgeable staff, and a team that truly stands behind what they sell. Thanks again to everyone at TWL. I appreciate everything you've done. So thank you all to everyone that was involved with them. He's a good customer, good character. I think Tom kicked it off at the ICE Expo, and that's why we do those things and come all the way to fruition and gets a good review and a happy customer. So good job, everyone involved. Crank it up.
All right, Derek nominated Scott and Kiffle. Scott and John noticed an elderly lady pull up looking for help to put air in her tires. Scott and John jumped on right away to help out and get her taken care of and back on the road. Thank you for taking a few minutes to make a customer's day. We are all here to offer help, and this was a perfect example of a little thing that goes a long way. Aaron nominated Clean. Thank you for getting the FXR helmets out and condensing helmets while I was in Sheboygan. Chris nominated Kiffle, helping to train the new lot tech in Sheboygan. I appreciate you being flexible and setting the standards with our new team member. Chris nominated Goody, making a phone call to an upset customer to earn his trust back. Thank you for taking ownership of the problem and caring to make it right. Chris nominated Taylor, being there to help with deals, and train Mason while Heather was off. We appreciate your dedication. And then Clean is gonna give out this one this week.
Can I add one quick? Sorry. I just wanted to give Mason a huge thank you. Talk about just being thrown in the fire. Yes, he had Taylor helping, but I mean, he did awesome. And again, smooth, calm. That's a really hard position to stay calm in, especially when you are new. So I just want to say thank you, Mason. You rocked it.
And I'm giving it to Mason. Just because he was up and down my stairs so many times, I knew how many he was signing, and I thought it was amazing just watching him take on this new role and how driven he is to learn. So.
All right, new hire transitions. So 2 positions that I would love your guys' help with. We do need another technician at the marine store. So if you've got somebody that you know that would be a great addition to the team, please let us know. And then also a technician at the Sheboygan store. So calling all techs. Anybody you know, how can we get somebody here on the team? So please and thank you. Referral program is still going for those positions.
Okay, upcoming events this Saturday, tailgate party. Colleen's gonna be harassing people. 2, 3 more would be perfect. If not, we'll make do, but she's gonna come knock on your door. Just touching on this past weekend event, it was kind of refreshing for myself. It was, it's crazy how complacent you can get, and like I just go back, I was ripping on the ice hole, right? Like, it was just an oval, it's just ice. For me, it was whatever, but person after person got in my passenger seat, and just to see their excitement, and to me, I'm just like, it's not that cool, but you clearly think this is awesome, so now it's awesome. So I just reflect on that back to here. Like, there's a lot of stuff where it's so mundane to us, and a lot of us do stuff at the higher level, but to a customer, I mean, I was just going on and called a pace lap and kicked it sideways, and people were screaming, and I'm like, we're not even going fast yet. So think of that through your day. Like, it might be boring to you, but to them, it's their best experience they've had yet to date. So keep driving and keep pulling that out of them.
Perfect. All
Throw
right.
the side down.
Accountability issues. So if I said something last week about the Google Drive and the S Drive, just so everybody knows what that. I mean both of them. Go through your files on the S Drive if you have one. Your Google Drive for stuff that you might have saved there. Another thing that I realize that a lot of people potentially don't know is that your photos from your phone may be backed up to the Google Drive. So if you can check that, please. I'm going to be sending out an email to anybody that I think has a lot of photos. It's usually service renders, things like that, but I'm going to send an email. If you get the email, it just means you have a lot of gigabytes of data from photos that we don't want to just transfer if they're all junk. And then kind of touching on what Matt said, so the reflecting on stuff, so we cannot take for granted a return customer because their experience needs to be the same as what it was the first time. So why I'm saying that is we had, the phone call that Goody had to make was for a customer who purchased his second machine from us. And we set the bar pretty high when he bought his first machine. And I don't care if he bought a Ranger or North Star, an Expedition, or a moped, the experience for that customer needs to be the same every single time. But we dropped the ball all along the way. We never, if I look at the proof, we never verified an appointment time with him, which ended up him being here an hour and a half early when another customer was here, so started off on the wrong foot there. His machine was not clean to his expectations. When he took delivery of his machine, he had a couple of issues. Door did not shut right. Light rocker switches for lights were hooked up wrong. The light bar switch turned on the rear lights. All three of them were wrong. So we just kept fumbling along the way, which made this customer, which again, I don't care if it was a moped or it was a $45,000 North Star that they ended up buying, on the edge of just leaving the machine here and asking for his check back. So we cannot take anybody for granted. And yes, it might have been his second, third, fourth machine, but they have the same expectation to be taken care of every single time the same way. So we need to remember that yes, this is our 10th of the day or whatever, but it is their baby right now. So they need to be given that same experience every single time. So please make sure we are focused on that and have that same expectation every single day. That's all I got for that.
We have a birthday on Friday, February 6th, Miles. So happy birthday to you.
Hey, Mike Martin's birthday is also on Saturday, so make sure you say happy birthday to him, because I know a lot of you guys know him. No anniversaries, looking for admin, culture card, look for the opportunity to be a hero. So again, Goody was a good example of that. He had to make a good bad phone call, but made it into a good situation now. So appreciate you taking that on. Okay, one from the departments, quick.
Yeah, so just looking forward, Sportsman's Ridges will continue for off-road, and then kind of a revived focus on motorcycles here, kicking off that season. There's foot traffic for motorcycles starting. People are getting excited already, even though they're not riding yet. So.
Parts kind of went through the numbers, a little bit behind the numbers. UTV, we have 38 out at 29.37. And like Chris was talking, could we have done more? Absolutely. LPI was 185. So 185 to 20 is probably worth that $2,000 that we were a little short. Service.
Service had a strong month with quite a bit of momentum going into this month. I mean, we also have a big plan to get these ridges in, get them done for the sales department, and just staying basic, staying to the fundamentals to keep us rolling efficient.
Yeah, obviously finance was above goal too. Mason Rock last week contributed to that. Ended at 40% finance, 30% warranty, 28 VIP, and 40% battery, which made it $12.99.
Okay, great job, February, or great job on January. Let's kick off February good. Goody, break it down.
All right, come on, everybody. 1 hut, 2 hut. Mover. Gotta get going here, all right? Hey, it looks like we got a full crew here today, so let's get after it. Let's rock and roll today. Easy. You guys can save that for later.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, let's go. TWO on 3. 1, 2, 3.
TWO.